Hi, I'm Dan Gable, and welcome to another episode of Big Agent in a Small Town. This week, we're going to be talking about important insurance coverages for manufacturers. Obviously, things are challenging for manufacturers right now between supply chain issues, labor issues, inflation, and anything we can do insurance wise is to make things less complicated, I'm sure is welcome. And we're going to go over 5 important coverages for manufacturers this week, and we'll go over another 5 important coverages next week as well too. When I decided to break this up into 2 lists of 5, I actually thought of a lot of people my age watched early 90s Saturday Night Live, and there was the Chris Rock sketch Nat X, where he would do a top 5 list rather than top 10. And he said he did 5 because the man wouldn't give him 10. So I guess the man's given us 5 this week and 5 next week. So we'll jump right into this week's 5 coverages. The first coverage is equipment breakdown. And obviously, if you're manufacturing, making products, if your production machinery is down, you can't have any income coming in. So what happens if, let's say, a power surge or something like that knocked out your production machinery? What would you do? This is where equipment breakdown coverage comes in. It would pay for the cost to get the repair done and get back up and running, and can cover lost income as well during that time. So that's why it's an extremely important coverage to have. The next coverage that falls in with that a little bit as well too is business income and extra expense. With this, think of having a major claim, let's say a fire or tornado that took out your building for an extended period of time. And what are you going to do to make up that lost income? And business income coverage provides you with that lost income while your business is down, while you're getting things back up and running due to the claim. Extra expense coverage is also really important with that, because that's going to cover as well extra expenses to get you temporarily up and running until your building is rebuilt or repaired from the claim. So think of costs like getting replacement equipment and expedited, rent for a temporary location, things like that would fall under extra expense. The next coverage is manufacturer's selling price. So again, let's think of that fire, tornado, water damage, any kind of claim scenario like that, where you had a big supply of products you had just manufactured that you already had sold and set to go out the next day. With manufacturer selling price coverage, that property that's damaged, you would get paid that agreed selling price that you had for your product, rather than just a replacement cost of what it cost for you to manufacture the product. So obviously, if something happened when you had a large order, that could be a very significant coverage. Kind of tying along with that as well too is contract penalty expense. So let's say you have a contract set up to manufacture or X amount of your product by a certain date, and you have a penalty if you're not able to meet that in your contract. And unfortunately, you have a large claim like a fire, tornado, extensive water damage, where you're not going to be able to meet that contract deadline. And with that covered claim, that coverage would come in that would help to pay any contract penalties that you had. The last one we'll talk about today is products liability. This obviously can be a huge one depending on what kind of product you're manufacturing. So this would be if, due to some kind of negligence on your part or some kind of defect in your product, it led to bodily injury or property damage to a third party. And normally your general liability coverage will have products coverage as well too. If it doesn't, it should clearly say it on your declarations page, and your agent should definitely tell you up front. But almost always products coverage is going to be included with your general liability. But another thing you want to consider with products coverage is a commercial umbrella to add extra liability over that product's liability you have in your general liability. So that's a quick overview of these 5 important coverages for manufacturers. Please like this video, subscribe to our Shore Murphy and Associates of Casey YouTube channel. Oh, and if there are any insurance topics you would like to hear me discuss, please mention them in the comments section. And again, always feel free to reach out to me by phone or text at 217-932-2267 or by email to Dan, D-A-N, at shoremurphycasey, SHOREMURPHYCASEY.com. Thank you.